Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're continuing our series on modifiers in UModeler X. The next modifiers we're going to look at are the push modifier and the shell modifier. The push modifier is a handy tool that lets you push faces either in the normal direction or the opposite direction. This means you can make the faces of your model either larger or smaller by spacing them apart. You can control how far apart the faces should be with the push value. If you set it to 0, there's basically no change. Then there's the shell modifier. The shell modifier is a great tool that lets you add thickness to your models, converting thin surfaces into a solid object. This is incredibly useful when you need to create objects with a consistent thickness, like walls, shells, or any hollow structure. Let's see how they work. All right, so to get started, what we're going to do is create two objects here. The first one is going to be a torus. We'll go ahead and create that torus here, just like so. Boom, just like that. And then the next one, we're going to create a icosphere. Awesome. So we'll go ahead and bring that guy up just like that. Great. All right. So the first one we can take a quick look at is how the torus would work by using the push modifier. So go over to your tool section and over here in the source mesh, go ahead and select add and click on push. And push really all it is the expansion or the separation of your faces or expanding of the distance between your faces of each other. So it's hard to explain, but maybe I can demonstrate it here. So if right now we have 0.001, if I do 0.00105 or 0.005, it gets a little bigger, as you can see, just a little bit, but let's go down to 0.05. That gives you a better understanding of how that works. And it's really just expanding on the faces as needed. And that's pretty much it. And you can use that to kind of expand your object. It's almost like scaling a game object, but it focuses mainly on all the faces uniformly expanding. So that's it for that. So if you can find some use, I would love to see how you guys are utilizing it. I don't use that one that much. I'm using more of the shell one. Let's take a look at the shell. So I'll move that one over. And what I'll do is select this. Now, in order to demonstrate the shell, what I'm going to do is actually delete some faces. So I'm going to select a bunch of faces. And what's really cool is I can select these faces and I can go down into my selection tool and I can grow so I can get more options here. So yeah, there we go. And so I can hit delete. And so now we can see kind of inside of this sphere here. And so now with this object selected, what I'm going to do is go to here and add the shell modifier. Boom. So as you can see, now the shell has an inside. But more importantly, now you can actually change the inside of the shell. So because this is really sensitive, let's go ahead and move it up like that, or a little smaller. There we go. So we can do a 0.01, right? We can do a 0.05, and that's going to kind of get how you can go about it. And so that's pretty cool. And so as you can see, that's how the shell works. And so another example of the shell would be kind of cool is, say for instance, we created, let's say, a rectangle. And we had this rectangle and we wanted to create, I don't know, like a chair or something. We can create something like this. Maybe not a chair, but you know those modern chairs? You ever seen those modern chairs where they're kind of usually at the really fancy stores? And you kind of push these guys out and then the bottom of the chair kind of curves under and we don't know how they did it. Well, there's a chair. And so what we can do is say, okay, I'm going to use the modifier tool. So I'm going to select this game object and I'm going to add the modifier here and I'm going to do shell. And so now we have both sides, but what I want to do is go ahead and grab this, go down, hit 5. And so now you can see that I've increased the inner side of it. Now, of course, you can do the other side as well, and that's the other direction, and it just kind of gives you some options to play with if you need to. Okay, and you can do a preview overlay if needed. Cool, but yeah, you can use the shell modifier in a lot of different ways. I think that's a super useful tool, and I think you can have a lot of fun with it, right? Just more tools at your disposal for modeling, and it's great because it's all right inside Unity. All right, well, that's pretty much it for these tools. I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you guys for watching. If you have any new ideas for new modifiers, be sure to share them with me directly. I love to chat about new features. Make sure to stay up to date with all the latest features and updates by hitting that subscribe button and clicking the notification bell. By doing so, you'll never miss out on any of the exciting updates. I'll see you in the next one.